Welcome to Orange Country. Welcome to another episode of Orange Country.
We're back, baby.
We're back. Today we have on a very special guest who is one of the more important people in my life for sure. And I know you're going to love her. We have on the incomparable Birdie Brit.
I love it.
Hey, Birdie Britt Kirschenheiter now.
Birdie Brit. That's what the kids call me.
What's Birdie Britt?
Birdie is a nickname I've had since I lived in LA for like 20 years ago.
Do you remember where it came from?
Yes.
You have
Let's
to
hear that
tell
story.
us.
I don't think I've ever heard this story.
Birdie Security. My cute little friends would call me Birdie Security because I would always protect them from like crazy drunk girls in the club. And I'd be like, those are my friends.
Oh, that's interesting.
There's like a real story behind it, but it's
That's like the PC version of it.
Okay. Well, I think we should just clear things up for people who don't know who you are.
Okay.
You are the new wife of Gina's ex-husband. You both have been married to the same man.
Yep.
We have.
So we're doing an episode of Housewives right here.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly.
Ghosts of housewife past
That's
and
right.
present
That's right.
and no future.
I
No.
feel
No.
like
Future.
This is it. Yes.
gotta be it.
This is it. Yes. She's present and future.
I love you are Matt's current wife.
Yes. You're nuts.
Exactly.
No, this is really intriguing and amazing. And I think for me, I get to ask the questions that I wanted to ask watching the show.
Okay.
And for people who don't watch the show, it's a Maury Povich episode.
It could have been.
It
It
could
could
have
have
been.
been.
It could have
But
been.
it's not.
Yes.
Yeah.
It definitely does not feel like that. Walking in and meeting you and actually having already heard about you from Gina, I knew that I would instantly love you, and I instantly did. But
No.
yeah, I mean, it's true though. So let's just start. I mean, how did you come into this world? How did you meet Matt?
Okay.
I'm assuming you met Matt before you met Gina.
Yes.
Okay. Gina did not
Thank God.
introduce
I
you
didn't
to
set
her
them up.
ex-husband.
No, I didn't set them up.
That would be weird. I don't think we'd be where we
Although,
are today.
although I don't know, like now that I see how it goes down, it's
Yeah.
not the worst idea
Yeah,
to
for the-
handpick
especially
the
when you have kids.
stepmom. Yes.
I'm trying on the other side here because I'm divorced and he's not. paying
Right. We
attention
got to
to
get
me.
her ex-husband is also Matt, which is really helpful.
Wait.
You know? Yes.
Are you serious?
So helpful.
Yes.
Okay.
So we are that name is very popular in our household.
Yep.
We got to find him a lovely woman as well.
We
He
do.
actually is a very good guy.
Wait a
Matt
minute.
Solo, too.
So
Yeah.
you're also close to the former Matt.
Yeah.
We all live in the same
Now-
community.
Even Gina's texted
Yeah.
me before.
Yeah, because
About-
we carpool.
Yeah.
Yeah, not like in a romantic way. Just like
Wait, did you
Yeah.
guys have kids?
Yes.
What?
And we're all in the same neighborhood.
Yes.
And it all just works out. 'Cause
Britt
we're
has
all-
2 kids.
And you're sort of also like obviously not a stepmom to those kids, but you have a relationship with those kids.
I have a very yes. So and it's interesting because I never really know how to define that because it's not naturally defined like a term in the world
I
and I
love
feel like
it.
we need like a term for me because it's more than just like your friend's mom. Yeah, I mean your friend's
is.
or girlfriend or something.
Yeah.
Like I obviously like have a special relationship and connection to them and I love Britt's kids. I really do. And they're, obviously like step siblings to my kids. But I'm just Gina.
Would you want to be on the show? Like as
I like being on the show.
She is.
I know,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Mom.
this would be so great.
Here's the thing. If I was ever on it, like you could not get me to go against her.
Well, that's the
I
only
know,
thing I
that's
was going to
the-
say.
well, that's- wouldn't happen.
It
yeah.
also would just
it would never happen.
it
like
could mess up your friendship. I know
It wouldn't.
I know it wouldn't.
I wouldn't
But
do
what
it.
I'm
I would
saying is
never.
because of even you and Emily at times, I feel like there's this angling to I don't want to say editing because I know that Bravo hates to say that there's editing
Right,
that has
there
anything to
is.
do with it, but they are still creating storylines.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's even been times where I've felt a little like, oh, it feels like
people try to mess with our relationship, like,
Yeah,
you mean? Or
yeah,
it's a little,
exactly.
people
Or-
get in there and.
Yeah, because there's things that are, I was just trying to describe this to some friends who were asking me about the show and asking me, how real is it? And I said, from what I know and what Gina has said, it's very real. This is the part that I would say gets a little heightened. And what it is let's say you and I were talking and Gina left to go to the bathroom right now.
Yeah.
And I said, boy, she's a little tense today, which is not true. But I would let's just say we
Try
just
to get me to
just
say
well,
something.
no. What if I just said it? What if I was just like, Gina's a little on edge, but meant nothing by it. Just was speaking what I
Tell
thought.
it to her face.
Well, that's
She's ready.
That's definitely what the show either wants you to say, or because of the world you're in, she might. When I go to the bathroom, she'd be like, "Shane said you were on edge."
Yeah.
Which in real life we wouldn't do. There wasn't anything behind it.
Right.
So that's sort of what I was trying to explain, the heightened version of real. Y'all will tell
You
each
need
other what the other one said
A
when
very
sometimes
small flame to make a very big
Exactly.
explosion.
That's
Yes,
it,
and
that's it.
everything is an igniter.
Yeah.
Everything, whether there's stuff behind it or not. No, I get that. It's not that I wouldn't ever want Britt to come on the show like in her own lane. Like I see like a lot of positives to that,
Right.
but it would be complicated because I would, first of all, I would just be very sensitive to if anybody said anything about her,
Right.
it would be a problem.
Yeah.
And then also, because I do think about this, but then also I always think, God forbid, she got into it with Emily.
I know.
That would be so complicated for
Well-
me.
I love Emily.
I know
I know.
everybody loves everybody though
But-
until they get in that
Hey,
setting.
I will
like
say
you
this
say.
though, and I love Emily too, and I haven't spent a lot of time with her. But Emily has an edge. I mean,
Yeah.
she can definitely be like a very straightforward. I mean, she's an attorney. She has that sort of
100%.
directness that at times can be mistaken for. People. I guess who was it that really felt like Emily had it out for him? Last season?
Probably multiple people.
But somebody. Oh, Heather.
Oh, yes, Heather.
Yeah.
Well, they always have had a thing. Yeah, they have a thing for sure. There's just so much room for
Yeah.
it to go badly that like I enjoy Britt so much as like a person and a human in my life, and I really love the co-parenting lane. So
Let's get into that.
that is what I see for us. We always are constantly, even now, like working on what can we do in that space to be able to work together, to be able to give Britt more of a platform of her own, but then also like to promote this good message and to be able to work together. But I don't see it. I don't see it on Housewives.
Yeah,
you know?
It's too positive. What is your phone doing? I don't know
I
who's
don't
calling
know.
you, but so
Yeah.
sorry, the question was, and we both ran away with it. How did you meet Matt?
Okay, so I
Matt
met
number
him. Matt number 2. I met him at the kids' school.
Okay.
So
Scandalous.
So scandalous. He wasn't a creep or anything. Like, he didn't hit on me at the school, but Sienna and Gemma were playing together as we're waiting for our older kids to get out. I think they get out like 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later. And he just like reached over and was like, "Hi, I'm Matt." And I'm like, "Hi, I'm Britt." Like, ugh, I don't know. And then later he like slid in my DM. Sorry, I want to be like respectful, but like
It's okay. We weren't married.
No,
I was going to say you guys were
Yes.
divorced. I think there is something that needs to be completely cleared up
Yes.
because everyone
Oh,
watched
yes.
it on the show. You were not the woman that he was having an affair with.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. And so I found out very quickly who you were, like within like the day, 2 days. And you think
Just
that
from,
would have
like,
been a red
schoolyard.
flag, but
Yeah.
because everything that they were going through, you'd think I would have ran away, but I was just like, well, he's cute and it won't be that serious. And I'm going through my own divorce
Right.
that nobody actually knew about. It's like a kind of a secret thing because I didn't want my kids to find out yet. So I'm like, he'll just be like a good pastime, I guess.
Hey, I'm with you. I would have made Matt a great pastime.
Oh, you guys are gross. You're grossing me out, the two of you. It's like this is going to get weird.
When
We're
we
done with that.
When I got to go on Watch What Happens Live with her, one of the things that Andy said multiple times was how hot your ex-husband was.
Matt's very attractive. He's a very attractive guy. I'm very thankful.
Do you remember that?
My
Andy
kids
just
are good
kept
looking.
talking about it.
Yeah, I know. It's really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that.
I always want to respect her as not only his ex-wife, but my friend and the kids that I love, their mother. So I do want to tread lightly on some of that.
Was it right away?
It doesn't bother me, but it's just it's just weird,
But how did you, they are legitimate friends, people. I'm telling you, and Britt's actually helping us with the show and helping us keep everything on the rails here. She's already helped save me this morning, getting me in here. How much time did it take? And was it like this from the beginning?
From the beginning, yes-ish, but I was also going through my own divorce, so I was kind of trying to keep it under the wraps, especially with what they were going through at the time. And then COVID hit, and that really fast-forwarded our relationship because we had to quarantine together and, just the kids and everything. I'm like, I guess we're in it now.
Which I think did fast-forward things for a lot of people.
Yeah, it either broke them up
or
it
bonded them.
But I do think that it's important for people to know, because I do get asked this a lot, and it certainly was not like this at the beginning. It's an adjustment. Anybody coming into your children's life, period, is going to feel threatening and wrong and bad. And honestly, for me, also having this public element and being on the show and everything, you're cautious because you're what is this person's motives? Do they just want to
that's hard.
And from my perspective, I am looking at, I know who Matt is inside and that he wasn't the person that, he was struggling, whatever. It was a bad time in his life, but not everybody else knows that. So also there is this element of, why would you want to date this person and all that? So you're cautious around it. And then of course the things that you hear from your friends, I'm sure she was hearing too. Nobody ever wants to say the good stuff at first, they all want to get in there with the drama and the little things here or there or whatever. So I was very cautious, and I give Britt a lot of credit because she was the first one she sent me a text message and it was really nice. It was lovely. And she just laid it out there and she said, look, I know you're hearing things. I'm hearing things. Why don't you just come over? You can see where your kids are sleeping at night. We can set boundaries that you're comfortable with, which now looking back, I'm like, that was very generous.
Y'all could teach a class.
I tried to put myself in her shoes. As a mother, and I'm like, okay, and everything that they were going through just as a divorce and all of that, I'm just like, okay, where are my kids? Where are they sleeping? Are they in a safe place? Who is this person?
What's the influence? I think what I love, you just said that people could think about what you knew and didn't know.
Right.
And what I loved what you said when you said you met him was he was cute. I was going through something.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big deal. You didn't try to present it that it was some big moment where you're like, oh my God, I'm so in love here. How am I going to weigh this with the show and with Gina and with
those thoughts came, but later.
Yeah.
Not in the beginning.
It was. It was just a real meeting.
Well, and then you hear the other stuff, and part of that's probably scary, but it's also a little exciting when you're going through something bad, and it's like, okay, you meet this person, but he's part of this TV world or whatever. It's like a little bit of almost like just a distraction at the time
but also scary.
Because
people are ruthless.
And I would, once in a while, I'd find myself almost getting mad at him for the things that happened between them because I'm a girl's girl naturally.
Right.
But then I had to make a decision to let that be their relationship and their past, and I'm going to move on with something new, and hopefully he learned from that, which he has.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't be together and you wouldn't be where you are, and you wouldn't have been able to progress that relationship if he didn't change from the previous one. And I do believe in that. I think that there are first relationships, and specifically with men, I think some of them just need a first wife.
Yes.
And then they're better. I'm not joking, but then they're better in their next relationship. They learn, and it was a young relationship. We both learned.
But there is this element that, I know I would have been married multiple times if gay marriage had been legal prior to this marriage. I was in 2 relationships that would have probably resulted in
marriage.
And, that's just honestly, one of the positives about growing up when I did and being gay. And I got to go and try these things out without actually having to go through divorce.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a thought about this. Oh, when you said people need a first wife, I was thinking about sometimes there is this animosity that happens when the first wife sort of puts the time and the work in and goes through all this, and then somebody comes along and gets the version of the guy. You were past that because you were already in a different state.
But
that for
I
me
do too.
was really hard with one of my breakups, because I was like, man, now he's going to go out there and be all the stuff that I've been begging him and beating him up to be. And, I'm sure he thought the same thing about me. I was such a wreck.
But they won't change until their next relationship. I swear growth doesn't happen unless like something big happens, or you get hurt, or you lose something.
Totally.
And then hopefully people grow from those things.
Yeah.
And I know I have, and Matt has. I'm sure we all have.
Matt has, and Matt has.
Both Matts have.
Is Matt number 1 married again?
No, and
Okay.
I have not met anybody yet, and it's been almost 5 years, and so
You haven't met someone he was dating, is what you mean?
And neither of the kids.
Okay.
So I'm just hoping that whoever that person is one day will fit in our
family.
We should have like a dating.
Dynamic.
We should have a dating show, but where you choose who he can date.
Yeah, because that person needs to fit into our family in a sense, and understand.
It's almost like The Bachelor when they bring them home, but this woman,
pick.
he would
Gina
bring
and I
this
will
woman
pick.
home.
We'll do good.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And even Matt, number 2, and Travis, everybody's involved.
Everybody.
We all get a vote.
This is a show, y'all. And
it's
it
like
actually
Survivor.
Yeah.
But,
it is.
But for a blended family.
Yeah. And y'all can vote people off.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not somebody who's already there. But,
no, I mean, I don't want to get voted off the island.
Just his future person.
Yeah. Okay. So Gina has all this information, but she
I
knows
don't
all
need
of
it.
it. So I feel like I
want people to hear a little bit about Britt's background, because I
too.
feel like that's interesting. And actually, there's things like even in your bio that I didn't even know, because you don't talk about the past. Like when we're so in the present now, it's like you don't always talk about the past, but you have like a pretty cool background and what you do.
I see someone's name on here that I'm super interested in. So you worked with Jose Bear?
Jose Bear. He hates being called Jose.
He does?
Yes.
Okay, there's an interesting thing.
Yes. Jose Bear, he was so hard to work for, but he also liked me, which he doesn't like a lot of people, but I worked, till 9, 10 o'clock at night sometimes with him.
What were you doing?
I was like his assistant,
Okay.
basically his bitch.
So wait, like personal assistant or hair assistant?
Hair assistant.
Okay.
So I'd come to the salon at like 9 a.m. I was an assistant, and then eventually I got my own like chair.
Oh, so you have was it cosmetology?
I did.
Or
yeah,
okay.
Not anymore, but yeah, I did. And he would roll in at like 4 o'clock with like, I don't know, some celebrity clientele and make me stay and do his blowouts. And I'd have to like text my friends, like, I'll meet you at the club later.
Yeah.
I can't go to dinner. But because I stayed and worked with him like every other night till 9, 10 o'clock at night, he fed me. So like any walk-ins, he always
that's nice.
gave me.
And that was in Los Angeles?
In Beverly Hills.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. That's a crazy story.
Yeah, he was very, like, there was times when I don't know, like almost abusive, like from him, but like I can really work with anybody now because of him, and I don't take anything personal, and I just am like about the business.
Was there like NDAs, or can you talk about whose hair he did?
I don't think
at the time
I signed anything.
Okay.
Elizabeth Taylor.
Ooh.
Shut up.
She would come in like a wheelchair.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
That is
cool.
big.
Yeah.
Wow.
Her eyes would sparkle. I'd just be like, oh, wow. Like they were like violet.
We have a chicken named Elizabeth Taylor.
You do?
Because she's so beautiful.
Yeah.
She's like
my
this blue chicken.
And
Did I
she was
meet her?
beautiful at like 80.
Yes.
Big.
Like she was
That is the
beautiful.
coolest story.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could ask you more, but I don't know how you're going to top that.
I know. There's, he got famous from doing the Farrah Fawcett haircut.
Oh, okay. I
in
didn't
the
realize
70s
that.
or 80s.
Yeah.
So that's where
Okay.
he kind of got
was
famous
his
for
thing.
doing hair.
Yeah.
Who was the other lady that was in that show with her.
Jane Fonda?
With Elizabeth
trying
Taylor?
to think of
No,
that
with
time.
Charlie's Angels.
Oh, Jacqueline Bisset.
Jacqueline
Smith.
So I used to do her hair too. I would go to her house and she'd have staff and I'd be like, where am I? And I'd like do her little blowouts. Yeah, it was really cool. Like
That is cool.
I love these
I'm really
stories.
bad with names.
Ah.
I used to go to another person's house and do their blowouts from Josiah Bear too. She used to do the red carpet. And she's not here anymore.
Oh,
she
Joan
got-
Collins.
Rivers.
Joan
Joan Rivers.
Yes. Okay, yes.
I love all the names we got wrong.
Yeah, but we
I'm
got
even
there.
getting them
we
wrong.
got there.
Yeah.
But I remember one time I'm doing your hair and
Oh,
she's
I
like,
love
Britt,
Joan Rivers.
she's like, you probably think you're fat, don't you? And I was like,
Wait, that's what Joan Rivers said?
And I was like, what? And she was like, you're perfect. She's like, don't let Hollywood make you think you're fat. And I was like, thanks, I think.
I love
I'm
you're
also like, I feel like I'm
didn't-
also like Hollywood. That is Hollywood kind of calling you fat. I mean,
no,
I
I
don't
love-
really.
But
I think
I
Joan
love
Rivers
her
called
so
you
much.
fat.
I didn't.
I just love you're like,
Joan
I
Rivers is like
didn't-
everybody's going to say you're fat, but I don't think you are.
You're like,
what is that?
Do you think you're fat? No, I didn't.
Until now, yes.
That is funny. And what a
questioning
perfect
it.
story for her because I watched her documentary and she was definitely the example, which I highly recommend, that she was the example of Hollywood constantly berating her for her looks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that fine line of like, you can't be too beautiful if you're a comedian. Or, it's like
Yeah.
this. Anyway, I was really interested in that. That is the coolest
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, she was really cool. I didn't get offended from her because I think she was coming from a genuine place.
Yeah.
So.
Like you're the right side, but it's still
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
funny.
And
Um,
even
tells it
Jose
like it is.
would say stuff like, you really know how to dress for your body. I'd be like, thanks.
Oh my God. What the
I
hell?
don't know. I don't think you get away with this
that
now.
was
No,
also
you couldn't.
during the like
It was like 2000s.
like the
Totally.
the cocaine chic era.
Yes.
Yes. So like
Very
that was
true.
during the
And I've always been a little
yes.
curvy. I've always had the J-Lo.
You have
Yeah.
a
Like-
beautiful body.
Well, look how time is like now has
God.
turned your way.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, it
right.
really
I
is.
know the times really. That was a good right turn. that it took
Everybody
for
is
you.
like
Yes.
trying to get that body and like adding to,
Yeah.
Right.
Amazing. Well, okay. So this says, tell the story about the girl's ears.
Oh, we just
Getting
got piercings
pierced.
together.
Yes.
Oh, y'all's piercing. I thought it was
so-
about the
well, and our
kids.
daughters. We
Okay.
did. We
So-
took Sienna and Gemma.
Yeah, originally
Yes.
we were taking the girls to get their piercings, and then I'm like, "Hey, I
We
want
should do
some.
it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want a couple. Let's just check it out and get the vibe first. We're okay with the girls getting it, but we wanted to make sure that it was cool if we got.
Where'd y'all
it.
go?
Yeah.
Claire's?
Yeah, no, we leveled up. We went to like a legit. So it was like you walk in and it's like a legit tattoo parlor, which actually makes you feel better because
Wait, they
you
do
know-
piercing? Oh, I guess, yeah. that's-
Yeah,
Yeah.
with like a needle, not like the gun. Like the
Ah.
girl is like legit, right?
Right.
So she's like
I don't-
just poking all
With
these
like
needles.
a cube of ice behind it.
Not
That's
even.
what I
not
think
even.
of.
Just breathe
Like a-
out.
like
but
a,
up.
like a
Yeah.
clamp. Like she'd clamp it and then
Poke
Oh,
it.
because that stops like the blood or something?
We didn't ask
Steady?
questions,
No.
Shane. We just
Man, we
sat
should
in
have
the
done
chair.
that on the show.
We were just like, we want holes here, 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 here. So we did
More
that.
holes.
And then-
but
Small.
she'd only do 3 at a time. I didn't want to go back and get like 2 more. Fill
yeah.
in the spots.
Huh.
But
Oh,
they're
that
good.
actually-
Yeah, this
where does it hurt the
for a while.
worst?
Up top, the
Up-
cartilage.
oh,
for
really?
sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. That was
Okay.
not the most pleasant. That hurt me the first night bad. But the funny part is, so we're in there and we're getting our piercings done.
Oh,
And then
yeah,
our
yeah.
daughters are talking to the tattoo artist that's in there, this guy, and he's the nicest guy. And, our kids are so talkative and chatty. It's Sienna and Gemma, our daughters, our 10-year-olds. And they're like communicating with him and they hit it off or whatever. Next thing you know, we're like finishing up getting our piercings and they're like, Mommy, we're going to give him a tattoo. And we're like, ha, ha, ha.
Okay.
And he's like, no, if it's okay with you,
Mhm.
we're going to, he's like, they picked it out. They want a whale. And we were like, I don't know if we're okay with this, but I guess it's like they're giving it, not getting it. Like this is
Just
an
like,
experience for
It's
them.
like Morgan Wade and Kyle.
Yes, it
giving
was
tattoos.
just like that.
I mean, we almost went there,
Yes.
but we decided that they could tattoo him in first.
But
okay,
not
so wait.
reverse.
So the kids did tattoo
so they
him?
Yes.
legit
This
gave
person
him a
must be
tattoo.
covered in tattoos if he lets
He was.
the
Yes,
kids come
he
in.
was.
I have
but still.
my dick is pierced.
No, it is not.
No, it's not.
No, it is not.
I tried to keep a straight face. I'm like, mhm.
I have never. The idea
Can you
of piercing
imagine?
anything.
You would
One
pass out.
I did have my ear pierced when I was in high school, and my mom, who is a very strong woman. I mean, just mentally and I guess physically too. But she blocked me from coming out of the bathroom until I took it out. And there was a standoff for 3 hours.
Stop it.
I grew up in like
won.
small town Texas, and that was not a thing. She did win because like I had to leave.
You got hungry.
And she was just standing there in the door like this. Like,
can I get a snack?
Yeah.
You're not leaving this house with that ear piercing. And I had paid for it at the mall.
That's wild.
Did you get one or two?
Just one. Yeah. My girlfriend and I went, and she was all for it, but my mother was not.
Yeah.
And so that's why I don't have any.
It was
piercings.
a big thing. I don't know if it's a big thing for men now or not. I'm not sure.
She did the same thing when I got.
Earrings.
She did the same thing when I got my dick pierced. She just stood
she
there
said
at the
no.
door.
She said,
You can't,
"Take it out."
You can't leave
I'll
that
wait.
barbell in there.
Oh my God! I have
Prince-
to.
what is
I
it,
have
Prince
to hold
Albert?
myself thinking about it.
Is it Edward or Albert?
Prince Albert.
Albert. Prince Albert.
It could be
That's what
Prince
it's called.
Anything.
The piercing there.
I have to tell you, to just really age myself, there used to be this, we used to play this joke when I was a kid where we would, this sounds so stupid, where we would call the grocery store, because Prince Albert was also like a type of like tuna fish or chicken or something. And we would call the grocery store and say, "Do you have Prince Albert in a can?" And they would say, "Yes." And then you'd say, "We better let him out."
And they'd be like, "What?"
That was just a stupid old joke.
Oh my God.
We better
You're
move
too
on
much
from
for
that
me.
one. It's true.
We got to move away from the penis piercings.
I know. I don't know why I said that. I just really wanted y'all to be shocked.
We were.
Well, you knew better.
It was. I know you didn't.
But
do
I
that.
didn't.
No,
I was
that's
about
true.
To say whip it out.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
I'm
wanna know.
not a whipper outer, you know?
Well,
That's good. I'm actually glad.
Yeah.
I feel like people with piercings are more inclined to
No,
whip
totally.
it out.
True.
Yes,
Totally.
they're that type of person. You know what I wanted to do, honestly, and I don't know if we have time. Sorry, I'm pivoting here.
We have
but okay, because on my Instagram, and I don't know if this person is going to get upset about this or not, but I literally just got a DM from somebody who was asking advice about co-parenting.
You really did.
I really.
And I even get DMs. More
Do you?
Not advice, but just saying like, I wish I had what you guys
It
have.
is amazing.
Yeah.
I think it is a great example for people. I don't know that I could do it. I really have, since seeing you guys, and especially today, thought if my husband and I got divorced and he met someone else, especially someone super attractive, I don't know that I could do it. I think I would
it's
just be
not
so
the
like
best, especially that is
But it
something that's
takes time,
annoying. Like because you meet someone. No, it's annoying when they're pretty. I'm being honest. Yeah,
Don't you just
It's like an
wish-
extra kick in the ass
It
that
would
you're like, are
really-
you seriously? Like,
it
yeah,
would really feel
it
better.
really
if
is
she-
awful. Yeah, I just wish she was ugly. Yeah, if you were just ugly, it would feel so much better. It would be such a more of a natural transition
Yeah.
for me. It's like okay,
And you can tell people
yeah.
she has a good personality.
Right? Yeah,
She's great with my
yeah,
kids.
love her. Right? Yeah.
No, but I think that would be hard for me. Probably mostly in my situation. If he ended up with like a hot guy, I would be mad that I
But
wasn't with the hot guy.
But eventually, if that hot guy's cool,
Yeah, then I
then
could hook up with
slowly
him.
but
Oh.
surely you could hook up with him
Right,
and
right.
then really keep it in the family.
Exactly.
Yes,
You know,
totally.
it's funny because one of my straight friends a few years ago was like, it must be amazing like being in a gay marriage. I mean, y'all can just do whatever you want. You probably sleep with other people. I mean, you probably have threesomes. I was like, yeah, I mean, I would love to have a threesome. I mean, I don't want him there, but I would certainly.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I don't-
gosh.
I think the same rules apply.
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, I mean, it
People
was
just think they don't for some reason, but the same
It's
rules
true.
apply.
It's true.
Yeah.
definitely. I think at first, obviously, just like anything else, it's an adjustment,
Yeah.
and this isn't something that will happen overnight because
No.
it does feel threatening and you don't know. But like, if you just put the kids first and you focus on that and you just take away, you don't, it doesn't have to go from 0 to 100 overnight. If you're just respectful at first.
Yep.
And you put the kids first, then the rest naturally does fall into place. And it did take us a long time to develop
Yeah.
our relationship and trust.
I
And
remember even taking like photos of the kids with like Matt and I and all the kids. And I remember separating her kids
Mhm.
for their own photos and sending them to her because like that's what I would want. So everything that I do and did, it was literally putting myself like in her shoes because I am in her shoes in a sense. don't have.
Not yet. Yes.
Yeah, I
but
will
you've
be
and you've
there.
also been your parents are divorced.
Exactly.
And you didn't have she had issues with our co-parenting and them not handling it maybe in the necessarily the best way, and it affects
They just
you.
didn't co-parent, basically.
Yeah,
So I want
exactly.
to make sure that I did everything, not ever expecting a friendship from this, but
Yeah.
just like so we can go to a soccer game and like say hi to each other and
Yeah.
not like have
And
animosity.
to make it comfortable and
Yeah.
and to enjoy the things that you're
Mhm.
supposed to enjoy in life with your kids and all of that. And I think also I am a person who it's like, look, that is very awesome that the things she was doing, she was mindful and she was thinking about me.
Yeah.
And that's all it takes. And then on the other side of it, it's like that didn't go unnoticed. You know what I mean? Like her sending me the photos
Yeah.
and making sure that she got a shot of just my kids without her and Matt in it so that I could have a photo of my kids without my ex-husband and his new
Right.
wife
Why
in it
would-
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
really nice.
That's
really
You know?
nice.
And so and then me in my shoes, now it is my job to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
And to be very thankful for that. And it was little stuff like that that then builds a relationship between the two of you. Because it's like, look, I'm going out of my way to respect you and be kind to you. And it's me saying, I acknowledge that. Thank you for doing that. And it allows us to build a relationship. You know?
What's the advice that I mean?
Okay,
you're
so-
giving so much advice right now. I don't even know how someone could ask another.
This person had just DM'd me and they said, "Hi, Gina. I wanted to," because I had it was just
Jesus, that's long.
I know these people, they really have real problems. It's a very big one. This is a hard thing for people, right? It's like, yeah, but she just celebrated her
Well, read
birthday.
it.
I was wishing her happy birthday was a response to that. All right, sorry, I'm long-winded here. All right, ready? All right. She says, "Hi, Gina. I wanted to write because I saw your nice post wishing your kid's bonus mom a happy birthday. It's so nice that you guys are friends and get along so well. Was it always like this, or did you both struggle at first? Did you get your toes stepped on or have things that she did that bothered you? I'm struggling. My ex and I have a 9-year-old son and are fairly amicable. There's definitely room for improvement. I met his girlfriend of 6 months in mid-April. He moved on as soon as we divorced, and my son met her about 2 weeks later. My ex seems to have her around at his house constantly now when my son is with him, so they spend a lot of time all together. Great, whatever." She's clearly over it. Today was my son's second to last baseball game, and he brings her to the game. No heads up to me that she'll be there. I just feel like there's no reason for her to be at my son's baseball game after meeting him only a month and a half ago. I'm just wondering how you got through these things and past these things to be friends with her. I'm really struggling. And she doesn't have her own kids of her own, so maybe that's part of what's hard.
This is the first thing. And I can say this because she didn't DM me and I didn't tell her happy birthday or whatever.
Rude.
It feels like when this is the case, there's still feelings. To me,
I don't know.
really? Because
me,
I feel like if she absolutely did not care what he was doing, she would not say things like, why is he bringing her to everything?
That's true.
I don't know. It feels like to me,
Well, there's two separate things. It doesn't necessarily mean she still has feelings for him, but she clearly has insecurity issues and feelings about her relationship with her children, his relationship with the children, and how they all fit in there, right?
it does sound new. That's one thing that I think it's probably going to take
Yes,
time.
it is new.
We just got a
yes.
second dog. It has been very hard. So I understand.
Because that's exactly the same thing.
Yeah, the first dog is so jealous.
No, the dogs
But
are. My dog's so
eventually-
happy about the second dog.
No, not our
Oh,
dog.
your dog is a bitch, a true bitch.
Eventually,
Well, a boy bitch. Yeah.
boys don't like other dogs. Is it
Uh,
a boy? Did you get 2 boy dogs?
yes.
That's why. I
It's
can't.
I know
you
everybody has
Rocco.
said that.
Yeah.
I can't get another boy dog.
It has been, we've had him 10 days now.
Yeah.
It has been World War III.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday, for a minute, they played. And I just started crying. I was so happy.
A breakthrough moment.
It, honestly,
a true
though,
breakthrough
Were they
moment.
playing or were they like
No,
whose balls are?
they
bigger?
were actually playing, and the puppy got comfortable enough that he almost killed one of our chickens.
Oh my God,
He
stop
chased
it.
our dog number 1 doesn't chase our chickens. He's just never cares about them. And the puppy is a bulldog, and he got
Oh,
a
yeah.
chicken one of those white fluffy ones that looks like Phyllis Diller. You remember those chickens that are kind of fluffy?
God.
He got the whole chicken in his mouth. I laid on this bulldog who prior to this was this docile little sweet puppy licking my face. This dog was determined to kill this chicken.
Oh.
I had to pry his jaws open and pull the chicken out. They're smaller chickens.
Okay.
And when I finally got the chicken
Cornish
out,
hen dinner.
yeah, I mean, well, the chicken just laid there. I was like screaming. I was yelling at my husband. He was inside, and I was like,
traumatic.
Bully killed a chicken. They all come running out, and by the time they get there, the chicken's like, burp, and just runs off. But no one could really know the trauma. So it
sounds like you're blending your family really nicely over
I
there.
understand what this woman is going through.
Right.
I have been there.
She
also-
is like a chicken just waiting to get
I don't know who the
ravaged.
chicken is.
Or
but
the egg at
I
this
just
point.
think
We
it goes,
don't know
It goes back
who's
to the
on
dogs,
first
I'll tell
or
you-
if we're at this baseball game.
The girlfriend, the new girlfriend, just needs to know her place and
Yeah.
that she is not the mom.
That's so hard with the kid
like,
thing.
With her kids, I, especially in the beginning, I'm like, I'm not your mom, but I am going to parent you. But I'm not going to discipline you. That Matt can do that.
Mhm.
And I'm going to love you as if you're my own kids. But also you have a mom. So I'm just going to be more of like a role model versus like your mom. I'm not trying to be like their mom. They have a mom.
Your kids have multiple moms that love them. My kids have no mom.
I just think that, well, you don't need it's a parent.
I know, I'm
Yes.
But you
Trust
could-
me, they bring it up all the time.
I'll take more if you need
Yeah.
it. They need a little motherly
Honestly,
love.
my
just
kids
send
kind
them
of
my
do.
way.
They kind of do fall into this too, this ongoing chain of people with kids. I would like my kids to be the, like the step, foster, or whatever y'all have, because it's a reach. I mean, you've got your kids,
Mhm.
you've got her kids,
Mhm.
sort of as
In the mix.
yeah, it's very cool.
But
And you got
Travis's
Travis's
kids.
It's
kids.
just, yeah, but it's just more people in your kids. First, you have to identify, is this woman stable? Is she, you don't want somebody, is she a nut? Is she normal? If it's somebody who is willing to be, but really, if it's somebody who is willing to
I
be
know, I'm just
kind to
laughing 'cause
you,
they're sitting here.
kind to your
You
children,
never know
there should be no
what you're going to
problem.
get.
Really, you should be wanting that person to be a part of your life. You have to love the people who love your children. And if that woman is going to be good to your kids, there's no reason for you to
What's
feel
the-
offended by that.
The bottom line advice, because
What
we
I would
can't
say-
speak to the girlfriend.
Right.
So,
Right. So what I would say is like the mom is like, you have to identify, look, this person's met your child a month and a half ago. Now she's at a baseball game, right? Is that, let's say she interacts with your kid, whatever. Is that logically, does that hurt your kid? Is your kid going to be harmed by that in any way? We have a million friends. If I bring around a friend or dad brings around a friend and then they say hi and they have a great time interaction or whatever, and then you never see that person again. Is that kid going to have an episode over it? Are they going to not be able to come back from that? Absolutely not. So I guess the point is, first, are you deducing, is this really, you're upset because of how it's going to affect your child, or you're upset because how it's affecting you?
And
This woman has to realize that she's upset because it's hurtful to her, which is okay. But it's like, once you identify that, then you have to separate that out. Be upset, whatever you have to do, but don't let that affect your dynamic with your ex or the children.
did you already have Travis? When you
Yeah,
met
we
her?
actually met at around the same time.
Okay, because I think that's also a big part
I
of
do
it.
think-
When the other person is still single,
Well,
it's
yeah,
hard.
it's harder,
sure.
but
Yeah.
it's still.
I think it probably helped that you had Travis.
Yeah, but it's
before,
not
but-
like I loved it. It's not like just because I was dating Travis, I love the idea of
No.
you coming into this world at all.
Or at least you had I think if you didn't have him,
There's
and
yeah.
I just put myself in your shoes, I think it would just be a little bit harder not to have somebody there for you to listen to.
You're sitting at the ball game and the girlfriend is there.
It's just
But
annoying.
you're alone.
It's
like,
a little annoying.
That
That's
feels,
all.
yeah.
I think that the parents need to set the tone. So, like, if this woman could talk to her ex about this and say, look, and be open and honest and say, look, I understand you moved on. I'm trying to move on too. I'm sensitive around obviously stuff with the kids. I would have loved to have met her before she met the kids. I just want us all to be on the same team. And if this is somebody that you really care about, then I just want to get to know this person too, because they're going to be in my kid's life. And they should be able to speak respectfully and hear each other and be okay with that. I think if you could do it before you start introducing kids and people, it all flows better.
Yeah.
I like what you said. That's good advice.
Also pay attention to your kid, because when I watch Nick look at you and I and Matt getting along and talking, it fueled my fire to get along even more, because I saw his eyes were just like big and he was like looking at all of us, and I was like, wow, like he's loving that we're getting along, and I'm like, we just need to keep this going, because
the
he's
kids,
paying attention.
it's comfortable for them. Nobody wants to be uncomfortable, and the fact that my kids don't have any discomfort when they're in a room with their mom and their dad and their stepmom and their stepdad is everything. Now it just leaves space for them to be like normal pain in the ass kids with normal problems.
The basic
right.
thing you're saying, both of you, sounds like focus on the kid.
Yeah.
Focus on them.
And see how's he reacting.
Right.
Exactly.
I think
and the rest builds from there.
Yeah.
Yes, the rest builds from there. But just put the focus on the kids.
And then eventually this could happen.
Yeah.
The relationship, the friendship. And if it doesn't, that's okay
That's okay too. Yeah.
Just as long as everything's amicable.
I would say we definitely have like an unconventional relationship. Like most people don't have a friendship and that's all right. You know, you just have to do whatever makes sense and is respectful and normal,
and I also think we live in the same neighborhood, and our kids they play sports with other moms that we all know. Like, we run in the same circle.
Yeah, that's really what it was part of it too, was we were in this overlapping social circle. So it's like, you know, and I think even our friends at first didn't really know, like, is this going to be okay or not? But then when they saw like how fine we were together, it just makes everybody more comfortable.
Yes. So if I lived in Irvine and you lived out here, if I lived, I don't know, Tustin, maybe we wouldn't be as close. I'm not sure. But that absolutely helped, is that we're in the same neighborhood and we know all the same moms, and the kids go back and forth to all of our houses, and we're in the same
network.
We tried to do a book club.
We tried.
That didn't work out for us.
Turns out I don't love to read.
Oh, we should do an audiobook club.
Yes, it would go way better.
I'll still...
We tried to do movie club. That didn't go well. We launched Bunko. That worked for a while. Yes.
That was fun.
Yeah.
What, since we've talked mostly about your relationship with Gina, and it's been so helpful to people, because it's honest. It really is amazing. And I am thinking about some of the parents at my school that we do sports with, and there's the divorced parents, and they are, some of them with other people, and I have seen some things that I think are really positive. I think it is a new day. I think it is different. And I think you guys being an example is a great piece of that. But I want to find out, just before we wrap up, like, so I know that you worked in the hair world.
Right.
And then what do you do now? What are you into?
Okay. So now I work with plastic surgeons and med spas. I do marketing and coaching and whatever they really want me to do, but I do mostly like marketing and business development.
Yeah.
But really,
is it like product based? Do you have, okay.
I work like with the staff. Like I go in to Newport every week, and I'm helping like that plastic surgeon staff, and just kind of helping coaching and create a vibe, and give the patients like a fun experience. And then on the med spa side, I do a lot of like marketing, and that's when I was like, Gina, like that's
one of the reasons why we got closer too. Yeah, because
Okay.
she was doing social content, and she was also managing, like, trying to get influencers on board for like it was a new local med spa, and so she had reached out to me, and I was like, well, why don't we sit down and talk about it? And really, honestly, the reason why agreed to want to do it was because I saw it as an opportunity to potentially help Britt. And for me, I was like, that is something that I can do. And then that actually will just build our relationship more. It's like you go out of your way. But then it obviously turned out to be great for me too, because who doesn't love free med spa shit?
And also, let me just,
exactly.
as I sit here and somebody who's had every, laser, Botox, anything they can come up with, I just got to say, your skin is to be aspired to.
Yeah.
So I can understand why people would want you as a representative in the room going, I'll have what she's having.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I could not be more thrilled to finally meet you. I've seen you on the show, wondered about the dynamic. She's told me some great things, but meeting you in person is, sort of connects all the dots. So thank you for doing this.
Yes,
with
thank you
us.
guys so much. I love being here, and I'm going to be here every month.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. I love
so
that.
awesome.
I know it is. And
Behind
it's
the
great
scenes.
and then also like, she's just so organized and stuff too. It's just been great to have, everybody needs a Birdie in their life.
So just know that
Birdie.
off camera, out of earshot, you guys, Britt will be there. And
She will be there.
she'll be influencing us.
She will.
And telling us when it's time to wrap up, like right now.
I'm going to have the whip.
Love it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shane likes that too much. Yeah.
Goes right along with
You've
my
made a
dick
mistake.
piercing.
I know your trigger words now.